Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Savina. Today is going to be really different. I feel like I've said that every video, but today's video is not Harry Potter related. I did a poll on my Instagram and I asked if everybody wanted to see another Harry Potter related video or if anybody would be interested in a video about paranormal or the unexplained and paranormal one. Let's get into it. So for myself personally, when it comes to the paranormal and the unexplained, it's something I've always been fascinated by. And personally, I have had so many experiences. I'm talking anything from shadows to voices to seeing things move right in front of me that shouldn't happen. The stories for myself, they're endless. I know it sounds completely crazy and most people are skeptics when it comes to things like this, and I completely understand. It's kind of, a lot of people need to see it to believe it, and I respect that. But I'm just here to share my personal stories with you. And maybe you guys would be willing to share some of your own, and I think that might be kind of fun because I know I'm not the only person who's experienced things like this. So, one story, and I think it's a good one to kind of ease into this topic, is the story I have about this ring I own. Now, this ring, it's not, well, it's special in the fact that it's a gift I got for my 16th birthday, so over 10 years ago, by my grandma. And she's indeed still alive and doing really well. And it was just a present she gave me for my 16th birthday. After I got this ring, weird things started happening. So I would put it down somewhere, and I know that's where I put it, and next thing you know, it will pop up in a drawer or my closet or somewhere I definitely do not put jewelry or where it doesn't belong. And that started happening frequently. Things started to get a little bit crazier when it came to this ring. So it started moving around, and then I actually started having these crazy dreams. I have no idea what they meant. I would just brush it off. I'm like, okay, I'm dreaming. These things have been happening, so I must be thinking about things like this, and I'm making myself dream about these crazy things, right? In my dream, it was like I was fighting off this kind of shadow figure. That's the best way to describe it. This darker than black, darker than the night shadow that I could see, and I was fighting it in my dream, right? And next thing you know, in my dream, uh, this thing or whatever it was just grabbed my hand and pulled the ring, or kept trying to pull the ring off of me. Now, a couple of key points to this. I did that night. I was in a really bad habit. I would indeed sleep with it. I would fall asleep with it on. You know, it fits really well. It usually does not fall off my finger. And I was wearing it. So in the dream, I just kept dreaming like I was fighting off this thing, and all it wanted, for some reason, I don't know why, was this ring. And then what ended up happening in my dream is that this thing pulled me so hard that I got dragged, and then eventually it came off my finger. Right? And I woke up from this, like I jumped up from this, like freaking out. And when I woke up, I was actually all the way towards the end of my bed, one, which freaked me out because I'm not a person that moves like at all when I sleep. I sleep to one corner and I stay like that. Anyways, I was all the way down to the end of my bed. I look at my finger because I remember it's this dream, right? It's off my finger in real life. After I woke up, this ring is off my finger. again, a lot of people might be like, hey, you went to sleep with it. It's really likely that it could have fallen off. Now, here's the deal. I've slept with this ring many times. It never moves. Also, like I said, I am a person that sleeps really in one position the entire time, one little corner. I don't move around a lot. Then I know, and I've told this to somebody before, and they was like, oh, well, in the dream you're fighting off, so maybe in real life your body was reacting too. That's definitely a possibility. Like, I understand that. I moved because I was moving around in my dream, and it kind of, your body sometimes physically reacts, right? Now, here's the thing. I got up looking everywhere for this ring. Everywhere. It was nowhere on the bed itself. It's not under my pillow, and I'm looking over and over, cannot find it. Then next thing you know, something made me glance back at my hands. There are cuts and bruises down my arm. I usually wear it on my left hand, and they were just cuts along my fingers, along my wrist, and bruises, like big bruises. And that freaked me out a bit, and I'm like, okay, I definitely did not have any of those before I went to sleep. And then next thing you know, I'm still looking for it, and something just made me look under the bed. I don't know why, but I looked under the bed, and there it was. And now here's the thing. It was on the opposite end of the bed underneath from where I sleep. And it's not like it fell off my finger and it rolled off to like the foot of the bed. It was on the other side from where I sleep, all the way up past like where your head would be. And again, it's just this ring, and from that day on, you better believe I stopped falling asleep with that ring on my finger. Now, if that's not crazy enough, things got a bit weirder. After that night, it just misplaced everywhere all the time. I started wearing it less because I was just like, I don't understand what's going on. But every time I would put it down somewhere safely, it always ended up in the weirdest spot. And I'm talking about it ended up on my closet floor before. It ended up in my pajama drawer before. Like, that's not where I would put anything. And it was just really weird. And then the most recent incident I've had with this ring, incident that I'm about to tell you right now, is what like really blew my mind past what was happening. So I was going out with my boyfriend. I actually had the ring on, and a lot of time actually passed. All of that stuff started happening, moving around, and then it kind of leveled off and it kind of stopped happening. So I once in a while started wearing the ring again. Some people might think that's stupid or crazy, but I wasn't afraid. I'm not afraid. So I loved the ring. I wore it, and I went into the car, and I'm one of those people, I placed my bag on my lap, and I was trying to fix something, and I took it off and I put it in my purse, and we started driving to where we were going, and then next thing you know, my bag toppled over. Okay, everything kind of spilled out of my bag. It was open. So I waited until we got to where we were going, and I picked everything up, okay, because like it rolled everywhere. Now I'm looking in the bag, like my bag completely emptied. I'm putting everything back in, and the one thing that I couldn't find was the ring. And I'm like, okay, like I just put it in there. So now we get out of the car and we go through every inch of this car. We look under the mats, under the seats. Next to me, I'm looking back through my purse, taking everything out. We did that about like 3 times, over and over. Couldn't find it. And I'm like, okay. the next couple days that followed, we did the same. You know, we kept looking. It even got to the point where my boyfriend was like, "Are you sure you had it?" And yeah, I took it off in the car. So much time. Now I'm telling you, so much time passed by. So much time. I want to say it took almost a year at this point. And one day we were all hanging out by my house. My boyfriend's there, my brother's, his girlfriend, and it started getting late. And we're like, okay, we're gonna call it a night. So we start locking things up, putting things away, and I had this light in my living room, and it was kind of like on a shelf, so you have to reach up, well, stand up and reach and turn it off. So my boyfriend went to go turn off the light, and then he just pauses. And the same moment that happens, right, I get like this jolt of electricity that just ran through my body, and every hair on my arm just stood up, right? It just, from my feet all the way up to my head, I just felt this electricity, is the best way to describe it. And he's just paused there, and I was like, what? You know, I look at him like, what is it? I kid you not, and mind you, this is almost a year later. He looked at me and he goes, your ring. And I look at him, because it's been so long, I had no idea what he was talking about. Like, it really kind of blew over my mind. I'm like, what ring? What are you talking about? He pulls it off the shelf. I just got goosebumps. He pulled it off the shelf, and there it was, my ring. And I felt another like jolt, and I just looked at him, and all I kept saying was, where did you get this? How? And I thought he was messing with me. I thought maybe at some point he found it, he decided to put it up there, and he was just as confused and just as like blown away as I was. I saw it in his face. I saw it just by looking into his eyes. Like, I knew. And I kept repeating over and over, like, where did you get this? I asked everybody, I'm like, did you put this there? Like, where did you find this? Where? Nobody knew. Mind you, a couple hours before, I'm the one who turned on that light. It's a small space. There's not much that can go up there. When your hand goes up there, you feel whatever's there. There was nothing there. And he placed it in my hand. Oof. He placed it in my hand, and like my heart just started beating really quickly, and I couldn't explain it. You can't explain that. Over a year later, it toppled over in his car. Stopped looking for it, and then there it is. Out of all my stories relating to the ring, that's the one that kind of, I don't know, that one always gets me even when I think about it. And since that day, nothing really significant has happened again when it comes to the ring. But then again, I don't even think I've worn it since then. But I have it. And actually, if you were interested into what it looks like, I actually have it right here. I had to go look for it today too, but here it is, right? I'll probably put a picture at the end of the video. This is the infamous ring. And everything I told you is word for word exactly what happened. And I can't explain it. It's so weird, but that one, it still creeps me out. Like I told you, I was talking about it and I got chills. That is just one tiny story of my many stories. And I think it's a good way to start off. I want to know what you guys think, and if you've ever experienced anything that kind of weird. Again, I know how crazy it seems, but after things keep happening and you just do not have a rational explanation for it, and as much as you try, because of course that's what I do first, you know, just because something happens doesn't mean it's paranormal or crazy, but it's a little crazy. And when I talk about some of my latest stories, I actually want to make this also another mini series. I'll throw in every once in a while in the mix because I've always been fascinated by it, because it's always been a part of my life, is the best way I could describe it. Talking about this has been kind of fun. I definitely look forward to sharing some more. I do have, like I said, a lot of stories. I actually also have pictures of things and EVPs and recordings. I have a lot because, like I said, it's always been a part of my life. And again, I know how crazy it sounds, but sometimes you can't explain everything. Ask me questions, I will gladly answer. Follow me along on Instagram, that's also linked down below. I hope you guys are doing well, staying positive, staying safe. Until next time.